This morning on DC News Now, 4 people shot last night in Southeast DC. Police searching for a suspect at this hour. Heat and humidity trapping the DMV when isolated storms could impact the region as remnants of Beryl head our way. World leaders gathering in DC for the NATO summit.
It's a bloody nightmare, to be honest. I can't imagine how the businesses feel.
How small businesses are dealing with impacts, plus local groups pushing for increased protections for Ukraine in the wake of an attack. Cutting costs at the grocery store, how prices on food have changed in the last week. And wrestling for the win. A Hagerstown NATO's fight for gold while competing in France.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Good morning. It is 7 o'clock right now on a Tuesday morning. Starting off with a live look outside. Yet another hot and humid day. You can see it. The air just looks thick out there, but we are expecting some rain. Jackie will have details on that coming up in just a minute. But thank you for starting your morning with us here on DC News Now. I'm Tanaya Wright.
And I'm Corey James. We'll get to Shanika in just a moment for traffic. Let's start things off with Jackie for the forecast this morning.
Yeah, out there right now, we're already starting off with temperatures into those mid to upper 70s. It's a very humid start too, and we have some heat alerts to talk about. Heat advisory has been issued for today from noon until 8 p.m. and also another heat advisory issued the same time frame for the day tomorrow. Tomorrow, though, will likely feel even a little bit hotter than the day today. So in terms of those temperatures out there right now, though, the kickstart your Tuesday morning, very warm. We're starting off in the 70s for most areas. Currently 75 in Manassas, 76 in Hagerstown, right around 80 in D.C. We're already low 80s in Lexington Park. Very humid start to the day. Those dew points are well into those middle 70s. So again, when you factor in the temperature and then also the humidity, that's when you get those heat index values. And we'll certainly see those into the triple digits later on today, especially when you're talking about those high temperatures into those upper 90s. I'll have more details and timing out the rest of your 7-day coming up. Shanika's back with the latest timing on those roadways. How's traffic at this hour?
All right, we're still in Prince George's County. Good morning to everyone. I know here on this stretch, people are not happy. So this is on the inner loop. This crash happened right near Pennsylvania Avenue on the Capitol Beltway. You are seeing some flashing lights there. Cars are getting by finally, but you're still seeing those delays there because of that crash, and they're working on that crash. Delays are building, and you're jammed all the way back to 210 Indian Head Highway on the outer loop. On the inner loop side, it's getting a little better. Those delays start right near Central Avenue.
All right, thank you, Shanika. An investigation is underway after a vehicle crashes into a building in Northwest D.C. This all happened at about 2 o'clock this morning at the Cove co-working space. When D.C. Fire and EMS arrived on the scene, there was no one in the vehicle. Now, as you can see in the video, lots of damage to the storefront, but officials do say they did not find any issues with the structural integrity of the building. And Fairfax County fire crews working to put out a fire overnight. Now, this happened at a home on Montauk Court just before 2 o'clock this morning. Fire crews say the flames and heavy smoke were showing when they arrived. Fortunately, officials say no one was hurt. And police in D.C. are investigating a quadruple shooting in Southeast, which is the latest instance of mass gun violence here in the district.
DC News Now's Jean-Marie Sissay is live this morning where that shooting happened. Jean-Marie, what's the latest there?
Yeah, good morning. Well, there was a police presence earlier, but they have since left. Now, the shooting happened right here on Potomac Avenue. And just take a look at this photo. We spoke to one man who came outside and found his car shot up. You see this photo. His window was shattered. Another photo with a bullet going through the backside of his car, and another photo with another bullet going through the front passenger side of his vehicle. He said he's very frustrated about the gun violence that he's been experiencing here in the area. Now, take a look at this photo. This is the photo that police believe the suspect was driving the car. That is a blue SUV, so definitely be on the lookout for that. Now, this shooting happened just before 8:30 last night. Police say 4 people were shot, 2 women and 2 men. They were conscious and breathing, and they are expected to be okay. Now, police are trying to find the person responsible. And one man who did not want to be identified walked outside to his car with several bullet holes, and he says it's not fair that bad decisions made by others are affecting innocent people.
You know, it's not cool, it's not fair. People don't understand, well, some people don't understand the concept of hard work and achievement, and they just want to take it and hurt, and it's not good. It's not good at all. It's got to stop.
Now, according to data from the Gun Violence Archive, there have been about 8 mass shootings just this year in the district, and last year there were about 11. Now, if anyone has any information regarding this particular shooting, you are encouraged to contact police. For now, reporting in Southeast DC, I'm Yamari Sase. Back to you.
Thank you, Anne-Marie. D.C. police are searching for the suspects who stole a vehicle on Savannah Street in Southeast. Now, they say 2 people entered the parked vehicle back on June 30th and then drove away. Police say the vehicle was used in multiple armed carjackings before it was recovered. Now, the first happened last Tuesday on Calvert Street in Northwest. D.C. police say the vehicle was involved in another carjacking the very next day on 8th Street Northwest. If you have any information, you're asked to call police. And new data shows efforts to drive down carjackings in D.C. are working. D.C. police say carjackings are down almost 50% when compared to the same time last year. It also shows 31 reports of carjackings this June compared to 140 last June. And U.S. Attorney Matt Graves attributes the decrease to the city's carjacking task force. Since it began in 2021, the task force has identified trends and issues. It found that most carjackings are done for joyriding. These stolen cars often sold or used in another crime, and that a small group of young people are driving up the trend.
Anyone telling our youth that carjacking is not a big deal and that carjacked vehicles are free cars are lying to them. Carjacking doesn't give you a free car, it gives you a fast pass to jail.
Now, Graves encourages prosecutors to charge 16 and 17-year-olds who commit multiple carjackings as adults. Meantime, D.C. police are helping you reduce your risk of being involved in a carjacking. They suggest you lock your doors while you are in your car, park in well-lit areas with nothing blocking your ability to see your surroundings. Now, if you do see a stranger in need of help, do not stop, call police.
Family and friends of a DMV Lyft driver shot and killed while on the job are pushing for rideshare safety changes 1 year after their loved one's death. Nazrat Ahmad Yar was murdered while inside his vehicle last July on 11th Street in Northeast D.C. According to the Government Accountability Office, nearly 20 taxi or rideshare drivers were killed back in 2019. The agency says another 30 were assaulted but survived. Yar's family believes more safety resources are needed for drivers.
Who are more familiar with the area would jump in and will say something like, well, I'd never stop there at night, which is not necessarily to say that people don't need rides there too, but if you pick up a ride there, don't stop.
And we reached out to Lyft and Uber to learn about safety measures for drivers. Lyft says it has a 24/7 live safety team and the ability to share locations with people. Uber says features including in-app audio recording, the ability to chat with a live safety agent, and its emergency button to reach emergency services are options for drivers. And happening tonight, an hour-long telephone town hall is taking place for people who live in Virginia. The police chiefs from Prince William County and Culpeper County are expected to be on the call. Officials say they're going to take questions and provide some updates about gun violence, the opioid crisis, and community safety. The meeting starts at 7:30. You can call 833-380-0670 to join. The NATO summit in D.C. officially starts today, and people and businesses are already feeling the impacts.
D.C. News Now's Leonard and Fleming spoke with locals that they say have mixed feelings about hosting world leaders and the inconveniences that come with it.
The NATO summit is coming to D.C. Tuesday, and with that comes a heavy police presence, endless fencing as barricades, and a security perimeter that stretches for blocks.
It's a bloody nightmare, to be honest.
Debbie Goldman says she canceled her fitness class across from the Washington Convention Center for Wednesday because of the event.
It is kind of scary. I can't imagine how the businesses feel. I mean, it's obviously a detriment to them.
I'm just patient.
Jonathan Bethany owns Selu Bakery and Mill a few blocks from the convention center.
We're going to do our best to prepare and take care of our community and let all our staff know and stock up on supplies.
Alexia Ramos, the owner of Anna's Market, has a clear view of the security fences going up. She says she's optimistic that her business may thrive this week.
At the end of the day, the conference attendees, they have to eat.
Other businesses are expecting to shut down, but
we decided to, go through it and keep it open. As long as people are able to walk on this block, we should be good to go.
And with the summit, you can expect road closures and security measures between now and Thursday in downtown D.C. You can see the closings near the Washington Convention Center and the Mellon Auditorium right here on your screen. Drivers and pedestrians may also be required to go through security screenings before entering certain areas. And coinciding with the summit, pro-Ukraine activists are rallying to get NATO and the public's attention. The protests start at 3 p.m. and will take place outside of the Mellon Auditorium near the Smithsonian Metro Station. The activists will be rallying to increase support for Ukraine's war against Russia. They're also supporting Ukraine's effort to join NATO. The high police presence will already be in the area. The protests may have impacts to traffic as well. Well, new this morning, members of the Montgomery County Council expected to introduce a bill putting term limits on the county executive.
Yeah, the proposal would limit a county executive to serving 2 terms in a row. Now, county executives are currently allowed to serve 3 consecutive terms. The measure only impacts consecutive terms, and that means a county executive could serve 2 terms, leave office, and then return for a 3rd and 4th term. A public hearing on the proposal will take place next week. At that same meeting, members of the Montgomery County Council are expected to vote to confirm a new fire chief today. Corey Smedley is the county's current nominee. Now, Smedley has more than 30 years of public safety experience. He most recently served with Alexandria's fire department in Virginia. 7:10 is your time right now on this Tuesday. Medical students getting a free ride to attend Johns Hopkins University.
How much money each person is saving thanks to a $1 billion gift, plus checking prices on grocery store favorites. The store's offering the best deals on food staples around the DMV.
And taking a live look outside this morning, Jackie, how are things looking at this hour?
Yeah, I mean, it's hot and humid already at this point, and later on today, we'll see those high temperatures climbing back in the upper 90s. And not only are we tracking that heat and humidity today, but also tomorrow. So we do have some heat advisories to talk about. Now, more details on when we finally see some relief. That's all right after the break.